Oh, I'm Bob Bannister. I'm a golfer, 75-year-old senior, sitting down here in my man cave, just having a beer. And I thought maybe I could share some of the things that I've learned. Now, understand, I'm not a pro golfer. I'm a fun golfer. I love to play the game, go out with the guys or the gals, whatever it might be, because I think golf is a really wonderful sport. And it's a heck of a good way to exercise and whatever. But it also can be a very frustrating game if you let it be. I never hit a ball until I was 52 years old. I'm now 75 years old. And during those first little bit of playing golf, there was nobody worse at this game than me. Understand, I mean bad. I shot 90 on 9 holes. That's 10 strokes on a par 3. Okay? Nobody's that bad, but I was. I don't have any natural athletic ability. I have to work at everything. And over these times, I've worked and learned a few tips of which I'll share with you if you're interested. Now, the thing about golf is it can be so frustrating that it can absolutely cause you, and it's also, the guys will make it a testosterone test on the tee box and how you can hit it the farthest so you swing the ball hard. Now, if you've played the game at all, you know that that's where that works. So it's very difficult. And you have to get over that and just go play the game for fun. There was a time, the first year I played, that we played at a course, and it was a back 9, and I was on about the 5th hole, and we had a tee box that was kind of like high, and there was water that went out and went around, and you had to hit it straight over the water in order to get out of it. Well, I stood up there with everybody watching me and putting 6 balls right straight in the water 10 yards in front of me, hitting. I was so mad, so bad. I threw my clubs. I made a complete fool of myself, walked off the course, storming back to the club. Nobody could talk to me. It took me a few minutes to get my composure back. And when getting my composure back, I realized I was not having any fun. I told myself, why am I paying for this torture and I'm not having any fun? And if I'm not going to have any fun, I'm sure as heck not going to pay for it. That's been my motto all my life. Don't pay for a bad time. Now, the only way you could not play for a bad time is, one, get it in your head. You're going to go out and enjoy yourself regardless of how bad you play. But it would be nice if you played well enough not to be and feel embarrassed with the rest of the people you're playing with. Don't matter whether you're playing. If you're playing a scramble, it don't matter because you don't hit the ball. They just watch the other guy that hits the ball. So with that, I told myself, and I said, no, I really like to play the game. So no matter what, I was going to play this way. What I was going to do is learn how to play this game, and then basic fundamentals. So I went out and played by myself. So I want to share some tips with you that I learned in order to go out and then enjoy myself. Well, the second year I played this game, we have a golf league at our work. The second year, I come in 3rd place because I practiced and learned some things. And from that point on, I got a little better, a little better, a little better. And we played a handicap game. I don't play scratch. I hit in the 90s, and a few times I can get down into the 80s. But what I also learned is, as I got older, remember I said 52, as I got older, my tee shots got shorter. My power went away. I got weaker and weaker. Didn't realize it, but a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. That caused me to start to realize I had to adjust my game, and sooner or later play as a senior, move up from the white tees to the green tees to the red tees, of where I play now on red tees as a senior. Now, playing from the red tees as a senior, I can be competitive for them boys that hit that ball, okay, the white and the black tee, and they hit it a mile. I mean, 250 yards, 300 yards, and I hit 160 yards, 170 yards tops. Now, if you're anywhere in between those, I got a few tips for you, and we'll talk about those tips. But the real key is learning and understanding what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is score low on every hole. That's the name of the game. And at the end of the day, you'll have a lower score total. Also, you can play skins. Playing the skins, that means every hole you're trying to get a low score to beat everybody else. Or you can play a scramble, okay, and you go out with the guys. Okay, you go out on with an outing, and you can contribute to that team, but a certain area you're going to contribute. If you're like me on a scramble and contribute, you're going to contribute on that green, because what you can have in your hand has nothing to do with how old you are. It's how good you can putt the ball, or how good you can pitch out of the close shots that don't get on the green. You can contribute there, and you can have the best ball because you can put it in, and you could win. You can beat them guys. You can beat them guys that bang the ball. I went out with a fella. I loved to play with the guy. Okay, he hit a ball 250, 300 yards. The problem was, it was he would play 12, 18 holes with me and use a dozen brand new great balls. I'm talking about not cheap ones. We're talking about $20 a dozen, $25 a dozen balls. And he would go through a dozen balls in 18 holes. I wouldn't go through one ball. So that's some of the first learning, is not to lose the balls. So the next name of the game is put the ball on the fairway. Hitting it 250 yards and then in the trees ain't going to get it done. You want to hit the ball 150 yards, 170 yards, and be in the fairway. Definitely not in the rough, and absolutely not over in the trees. I played a lot in the trees, and I sure couldn't score over there. So I'm going to give you some tips for you to think about. And you can use these tips right now. Practice stuff right now. It's wintertime, snow outside, and you could use these right now and learn how to practice in the house. Also, how to hit the ball, when to hit the ball, where to hit the ball, so you don't do it. So when you do go out, either maybe you want to go out New Year's, I don't know, or get ready for the spring, which is a lot of stuff starts in March. So how can you improve your game now so that you're ready to play, and you're now contributing, and you're not embarrassing yourself when you want to go out and play at March? After I played a while and learned some of these tips and whatever, the guys, their way of patting me on the back and or saying good, they said, I am the most boring golfer. I am the most boring golfer. Because why? I didn't put it over in the trees anymore. I didn't. I was right straight out. Everybody could walk right straight off the tee box, right straight out to my ball and find it. Now, they didn't have to find their ball. They found mine. So they got to saying, I am just boring to play. And it was kind of a joke. So with that, I'm going to stop, except I'm going to show you something. It's called a putter. I want you to think about that for a minute, because this is the club that you will use every hole. Not some of them, not part of them. 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you're going to use this one every time, because you're going to have to putt the ball. Now, what you want to do is not you have to use it so much. Your first goal is not have more than 2 putts per hole. The next goal is to get down to 1 putt per hole. Now you're getting down into pars and birdies, because all you have to do is get on that any par 4. You get on any par 4 in 3 and putt 1, you're playing par golf. Any way you cut it. If you get on a green on a par 3 and putt 1, you're hitting birdies. Now you're making money, or you're winning, or you're contributing, or you are having fun. And believe me, I have played most of the time on public courses around here. I live in Indianapolis. Around here, we got a lot of nice public courses. We got a lot of nice bad public courses. But we got very few championship courses. And the one championship course we do have is called Crooked Stick, which is now having a pro tour. And I played that one. And that is a real stinker. The reason I was able to play it is the owner and CEO of the company I work for took, guess what? The league winners, the top 3 league winners, out for a golf outing out in Crooked Stick. It is wonderful. So we're going to talk about that. How can you do this? Now, I don't know. Now, if you're a scratch golfer, you're just laughing to yourself. Or you're a pro that's giving courses, okay, on one of these beautiful billiard ball courses, you're laughing at me too. So I'm talking to the guy that's a senior, 55, 60 years old, lost a lot of a distance. He's not a pro. You don't shoot. You might be shooting plus 100s, in 100s, or in the 90s. And what you'd really like to do is drop about 8, 9 strokes in 18. Maybe drop even 10 strokes or more. I'm going to show you some things that might allow you to do it, and I'm going to give you a practice system that you can do right now in the winter. All right, I'm going to turn this thing off, and I'm going to show you some other stuff. Okay. A great golfer named Bobby Jones used to say, or did say, that the game of golf is played on a fairway 6 inches wide between your ears, meaning it's a head game. And also it's a game about inches, not yards. Hi, it's me again. I'm going to start off by showing you the first tee on a course that I play closely to me here. It's been about a couple of miles. It's called Winding River. Nice 19-hole public course. There's lots of leagues play there. Really nice, generally a nice course. And then after I show you that, then I'm going to set up and show you some of the things that are done. Now, like I said before, you're going to play every hole with a putter, or at least you're awful good to score hole-in-ones on every hole. you might get a hole-in-one in your lifetime, or at least in my lifetime. But the chances are is low. So the chances are you're going to play every hole with a putter. Somewhere along the line, you're going to hit a putter. And the idea is to score as low as you can. So what I'm going to do is show you first thing I'm going to show you is my practice on the winter time, like coming up right now, with my little putting green that I bought. And then what I do in high and why I do what I do. And you might find that this little idea might work pretty nice for you. Then after I do that, then we'll go and try to show you each one of the holes, and then I will say how I would try to play that hole. And when I get done, if my plan works or my managing work, I would end up at about 1 over par hitting from the red tees. Okay, here we go. I have found that lineup is absolutely critical. Absolutely requirement to do a good job at putting. Now the problem I found with me was when I go out on a golf course, you know, I only get a chance at a hole putting once or twice in a half an hour or 15-20 minutes to the hole. So then you have, okay, now I found that I was always putting and I was always missing the hole slightly right or slightly left. Couldn't figure out why. Found out what it was my lineup. And the only way I found it out is with this 6-foot putting green, which I put down in front of the TV so that I can practice, but still watch my football game or my favorite show. So notice what I did. I developed a lineup that I do every time. I come up to the ball, eye it, straight to the hole, make sure that I put my feet, whatever, perfectly center of the ball so that the club is going to be able to come at the swing point, which is square, and then hit the ball straight to the hole. Now I practice this shot every day, and I put 25 balls in the hole. Now, you don't go out on the course and be able to put 25 balls to get your alignment back. It has to be automatic that you've developed it, and as soon as you go to hit the hole, you see it goes in the hole. Now, this little trick is good for me. May not be for you, but I bought this little cheap 6-foot mat, put it right in front of my TV in my quote-unquote man cave, and all I want to do is be able to go out and play with the guys and be reasonably good at it. Boom, to the hole. Now that shot is that's a good 6-foot green, and it's good for 8 foot, this shot. Now, as I said, the last time that I was hitting a ball and it was going slightly, it would run light to the right or to the left of the hole. I would then try to correct my next shot, okay, by aiming it differently. The problem wasn't my aim, the problem again was setup, and my club setup was not square to the ball. By hitting square to the ball, I went square to the hole automatically. I'll say this much also. We don't play on these wonderful courses that these pros play on, that they show you and instruct things on, these wonderful greens or putting greens that's at the your neighborhood pro shop, or at your neighborhood back 9 or 18. Those greens are not pro billiard tables like we would normally do. So I would suggest that you always aim straight at the hole. Don't try to play tricks and aim off or aim over in order to put the break in there. You might make one hole that's playing the great out of 20 putts. But most of the time you're going to say, oh boy, that's off a little bit. Why? Is because the ball, you want it to run straight to the hole.